2 years ago. He is very difficult to speak with directly, Mr. Chairman. He only speaks Chinese, and this council does not speak Chinese.
So, in representing him in this particular hearing, what were the parameters of your engagement? Did he tell you na you can only answer about this or that? Kasi it would be useless for you to appear and here and say that you were properly authorized to appear without you having been in touch with your principal and coordinated with him what possible answers you would be allowed to give to this committee.
Mr. Chairman, during the first time that I appeared about a month or a month and a half ago, I had made it very clear as well that the only reason that this council appeared was because the letter invitation to Mr. Michael Yang was sent to our law office instead to him directly. And so I had said that out of respect for this committee, I was appearing, and the honorable committee members had taken advantage of that particular situation and asked me a number of questions aside from asking for additional documents, which this council would be in a position to provide. And I in fact did that by providing it. So per se, Mr. Chairman, I had done it precisely because I wanted to somehow help this committee to arrive at some information in aid of legislation that would be able to, well, at least in my personal capacity, as to being able to speak for and on behalf of Mr. Michael Yang, I have regrets that I cannot do so because, to be perfectly candid, I have not spoken to him for roughly more than 2 years since the last time that there was a hearing before the Senate.
Sir, wouldn't it have been more prudent on the part of you acting as a lawyer of Mr. Michael Yang to try to get in touch with him because you've received already 2 invitations before this committee and it refers to his dealings prior to, or no, prior to the last time you talked to him 2 years ago. So, at least man lang be updated on what has been happening or the probable questions that may be asked before this committee. Because you claim that you are still representing him, that the engagement is still ongoing. So, para sa akin, parang hirap naman intindihin na hindi mo man lang kinausap. Or even if he doesn't speak English or Tagalog, I'm sure your law office could have arranged a time and a date where you could call him with an interpreter siguro.
I am perfectly sure, Mr. Chairman, that Mr. Michael Yang's presence before this committee is what this committee is after, not merely just the information to be provided by a lawyer. Whatever I say before this committee will not be taken on behalf of Mr. Michael Yang.
That's true,
because that will be hearsay. That's
true.
Why if I do try to contact Mr. Michael Yang, the only thing that I can ask would be, would you be able to attend the committee hearing? And that is the reason why I have contacted the people from Piley Holdings in order to inquire from them, is he coming back, when he's coming back, and would he be able to attend the committee hearing? Any information given to me, number 1, would be hearsay. Number 2, it would also be a violation of my lawyer-client privilege, Mr. Chairman.
True. Now, you got in touch with Piley Holdings Corporation to ask them about this invitation, but never the person to who engaged you, as a representative, as this letter clearly states. So, it's, I don't know, parang in-engage ka ng tao, yet ibang tao kausapin mo. If the invitation was for that person, that's kind of hard to believe, Attorney Fortune. No? But anyway, since that's what you answered, sige, I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Flores. There are more clarifications that the committee members would ask Attorney Fortune later with regards to the engagement of his law firm to Mr. Michael Yang et al. I would suppose that his company, his corporations, which he has a share on, is the same law firm that he engaged, your law firm.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I would think so.
Mr. Chairman, so sige, Congressman Ako, and then Congressman Dan Fernandez, and then we proceed with the Zoom presentation. Congressman Ako, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We're talking about Mr. Michael Yang. May I ask if a subpoena was issued to Mr. Michael Yang? In the last hearing, we approved on motion of a member of this committee that we issue a subpoena for Mr. Michael Yang. Have we done that?
Comsec, please reply.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, sir, we have issued a subpoena. This was dated June 24, 2024. And this was received by a certain Mr. Cedric Sidenio, receptionist of the Fortune Santos office. Date of receipt is July 4, 2024, at 2:44 p.m.
And yet, today, when he's supposed to appear pursuant to that subpoena, Mr. Yang is not present.
Yes, sir.
And pursuant also to our protocols and our inquiry in aid of legislation, if a person does not appear pursuant to a subpoena, then we can move if we have a quorum to cite that person in contempt. Would that be correct?
I believe so, sir, according to our rules.
Mr. Chair, do we have a quorum this morning as of now?
Yes, Congressman Akop, there is a quorum. In addition to the 8 members who are present, both in Zoom and physically present in today's hearing, we have an additional member who just arrived, Congresswoman Jinky Luistro, who is also present. Therefore, the number of attendees in this committee hearing, 10 members present.
May I move then, Mr. Chair, that we cite Mr. Michael Yang in contempt for continuously being absent in spite of the subpoena, in spite of the invitation given him. So move, Mr. Chair.
Okay, there is a motion to cite in contempt a resource person who has not appeared before this committee despite several invitations and despite a show cause order being demanded from him. Since he is not present, pursuant to our rules on Section 11, if I may read, the committee may punish any person for contempt by a vote of 2/3 of the members present. We have a quorum. We have 10 members present, which is more than 2/3. And citing the violation committed by Mr. Michael Yang on Section 11, Paragraph A, refusal without legal excuse to obey summons and invitation. There is a motion to cite Mr. Michael Yang in contempt. And duly seconded. Hearing no objection, the committee is now citing in contempt Mr. Michael Yang.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.
Congressman Dan Fernandez.
Mr. Chair, I think let us not belabor Mr. Attorney Fortun of his presence on our hearing anymore. Since according to him naman that his client, Mr. Michael Yang, is not in contact with him for 2 years already. And I think Mr. Michael Yang is not interested on trying to contact his lawyer. So I think the presence of Attorney Fortun here is not needed at this point of time. So, Mr. Chair, I move that we excuse Attorney Fortun.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay, before we rule on that motion by Congressman Dan Fernandez, Congressman Tagon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Anyway, Mr. Chairman, before I make a manifestation with regards to the statement made by Attorney Fortun. Mr. Chairman, the first motion was already approved, citing contempt Mr. Michael Yang. So we have to move for another motion for how long and where to detain Mr. Michael Yang. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I move that we detain Mr. Michael Yang for 30 days. And same as in the case of Mayor Ponsalan, he was cited in contempt that was detained in Bicotan, Mr. Chairman. So move, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, before I rule again on that, let me dispose first of the first motion by Congressman Dan Fernandez. His motion is to excuse the counsel appearing for and on behalf of Mr. Michael Yang. Since we will not be anymore asking questions to him, so there is a motion to excuse Mr. Attorney Raymond Fortun in our today's hearing. Hearing no objection, duly seconded.
Before I second the motion of Chairman Dan Fernandez, as I've said, I will just make a short manifestation with regards to the statement made by Attorney Fortun. As I, Mr. Chairman, Attorney Fortun is claiming to represent Michael Yang, but he never talked, he never seen the subject of this investigation for 2 years. How can represent a person without talking? No. Now, the authority that is given to him, sabi niyo nga, Michael Yang, but of course, he talked to the members of the corporations, representing Paili Holdings Corporation. Magkakasunugan na to. Kasi, if I will ask, Attorney Fortun, are you of liberty of telling the, testifying this committee, who are those people in this corporation that you have submitted to us? The Fulwind Group of Companies, Paili Holdings Corporation, Paili State Group Corporation, and all other subsidiaries.
Mr. Chairman, I can duly inform you that the person who I tried to reach was via a cell phone. And that this is the cell phone of the legal department of ID Holdings.
Ayun na naman, legal department. Anyway, Mr. Chairman, I will be able to that. So I second the motion of Attorney Dan Fernandez to excuse Attorney Fortun in this particular hearings.
Okay, there is a motion, duly seconded. Hearing no objection, the motion of Congressman Dan Fernandez is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, permission to leave.
With respect to the, Attorney Fortun, you are excused. With respect to the motion by Congressman Paduano, specifying the penalty that will be imposed on Mr. Michael Yang, pursuant to our rules on Section 12, it says by a vote of 2/3 of the members present, there being a quorum. Those cited under Section 11, in this case, Section 11, Paragraph A, shall be detained for a period not exceeding 10 days in a place designated by the chairperson or acting chairperson under the custody of the Sergeant at Arms. The pleasure of the committee is now being asked, but before we finally rule on this, if I may ask Congressman Paduano, the movement of the motion, to allow the chair to dispose your motion relative to the penalty that will be imposed on Mr. Michael Yang before we adjourn in our today's committee hearing. Would that be all right?
I don't have a problem with that, Mr. Chairman. Ang problema natin is the quorum.
We have a quorum. Yeah, we have a quorum. A quorum has been established, and this is...
Of course, the votes will be counted based on the votes of each independent members, Mr. Chairman. And baka po pagdating ng dulo, wala na tayong quorum.
That is correct, Congressman Paduano. That's why we ask the members present and those in Zoom to please manifest your vote to the committee secretary. Please, Comsec, please record the votes. But we shall rule on that before we adjourn our committee hearing today. So the motion is to impose a penalty of detention at 430 days at Bicutan City Jail. At Bicutan City Jail to Mr. Michael Yang. Okay. So, Comsec, please get the votes of our honorable members. Yes, Congressman Dan
In
Fernandez.
addition with that, Mr. Chairman, since tong travel dates that was submitted to us in accordance with the travel of Mr. Michael Yang, his last travel was May 12, 2024. Flight number EK335, Manila to Dubai. And these travel dates were never been updated. So may we ask the immigration, the DOJ, or the Interpol, if possible, and also the PNP, to be aware of the decision of this committee with regards to the contempt that we issue.
Yeah, thank you, Congressman Dan Fernandez. Yes, we will ask the committee secretary to closely coordinate with the agencies involved in the implementation of the contempt and the penalties thereof pursuant to the rules of the House of Representatives. So we may now proceed with the presentation of...
Mr. Chairman, just admin matters lang po.
Okay.
Before we proceed with the presentation of some resource persons. Mr. Chairman, as you have mentioned, Mr. Edie Tumang is in the Zoom. Now, tanong po, Mr. Chairman, why? Why we allow Mr. Tumang to be in the Zoom while other resource persons are here physically present, Mr. Chairman? And the previous hearings, not only in this committee, and that includes my committee, well, in fact, I have again a schedule on next week, laging physically present si Mr. Tumang. Now, do we allow Mr. Tumang to answer questions in the Zoom?
Yes, Your Honor. We will ask for his answers and for reply to our questions while he is in Zoom. I was informed that this morning through the COMSEC that the former mayor, Mayor Teddy Tumang, is under the weather, and we cannot really force him to come here, because this committee is very considerate to the human frailty, so to speak. But definitely in our subsequent hearings, we will demand that the resource persons be present in our subsequent hearings of this committee. I hope that explains and would suffice the question of Congressman Paduano.
Anyway, we will ask former Mayor Tumang during the committee deliberation. Now, next, Mr. Chairman, is the barangay captain of, which is involved in the construction of some buildings and properties of Biliong is present. Certain barangay captain Bautista. Is he present?
Yes, he was invited, Congressman Paduano. In fact, he is present.
Ayun. Let me ask, Mr. Chairman, can I ask you to take a seat?
Pwede bang dito kayo umupo sa harapan? Before that, before we
Thank you,
continue, I'd
Chairman.
like to acknowledge the presence of our Vice Chair, Congressman Richard Gomez. Good morning,
Mr. Chairman.
Congressman.
A while ago, Chairman Paduano was asking the reason for Mayor Tumang to be present by Zoom. May we ask also that he submit a medical certificate regarding his condition? Kasi it might be the practice of the different resource speakers to attend via Zoom na lang po. And we don't want to take that as a precedent. So hopefully by next time we can submit a medical certificate pertaining to his condition.
Yes, Congressman Dan Fernandez, we will make sure that Mr. Tumang will be informed and advised. Kapitan, okay, so is the Zoom ready? I was informed that Colonel Eduardo Asierto, the former Deputy Director of the Philippine National Police Drug Enforcement Group, is present in Zoom and has requested this committee to allow him to make presentation. So, Comsec and the Secretariat, can you please Colonel Eduardo Asierto, are you on Zoom already?
Magandang umaga po, Mr. Chairman.
Pakiayos niyo lang yung volume. Sandali lang po, ayusin muna natin yung ating internet. So, Colonel Asierto, para lang ma-aware kayo, yung aming previous committee hearings dito sa Committee on Dangerous Drugs, House of Representatives, ay nagkaroon ng isang motion na imbitahan kayo, no? Na mag-appear dito sa committee ito to shed light on the alleged involvement of a certain Mr. Michael Yang, who was allegedly identified as a drug lord. Dahil meron ho kayong mga interviews, meron ho kayong mga social media posts na kung saan meron kayong binabanggit na Mr. Michael Yang. Gusto lamang pong malaman ng committee ito kung parehas ba yung Michael Yang na ating pinag-uusapan, na kung saan meron kaming nakita sa aming investigasyon dito na a certain Michael Yang na nagmamayari ng isang korporasyon ay konektado doon sa Empire 999 na korporasyon din na kung saan siya ang nagmamayari ng warehouse dyan sa Mexico, Pampanga, na meron pong naglalaman po ng 560 kilos of shabu. So, dahil po sa information na nakikita at naririnig namin na inyong sinasabi sa inyong mga interviews, gusto namin matanong kayo directly. So, we will allow you to make your presentation and then allow us as well to propound questions after you make your presentations. Okay po ba yan?
Opo, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, maraming salamat po. So, please proceed with your presentation. By the way, pwede ho namin kayong i-place under oath para ho lahat po ng inyong sasabihin sa committee ito ay pawang katotohanan lamang po na inyong sinusumpahan.
Opo.
Okay. Comsec, please administer the oath of Colonel Eduardo Asierto.
Please raise your hand, sir. Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth in this congressional inquiry?
Yes,
Thank
I
you.
do.
Thank you very much, Colonel Asierto. Please proceed with your presentation.
Kung pwede po sana magbigay mo ng opening statement.
Yes, please.
Salamat po. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Ako po si Police Colonel Eduardo Asierto. Ako po ay isang pulis na nanilbihan ng mahaba at tapat para tulungang masawata ang illegal na droga sa ating bansa. Matagal po akong naging anti-narcotics operative at natalaga po ako bilang Deputy Director ng PNP Anti-Illegal Drug Group at PNP Drug Enforcement Group. Ako din po ang parehong Police Colonel Eduardo Asierto na matagal nang ipinapahanap at ipinapapatay ng dating Pangulong Duterte sa militar at sa kapwa ko police. Pinapapatay po ako ni Duterte dahil natalisod ko at pinaimbestigahan ko sila Michael Yang at Alan Lim na malapit nilang kaibigan ni Senator Bongo. Ako po at ang mga at kasamahan kong si Police Captain Lito Perote ang nakadiskubre ng mga illegal na aktibidad at gumawa ng report tungkol kay Michael Yang at Alan Lim, mga personalidad sa illegal na droga na laging nakikitang nakasama ni Pangulong Duterte at Senator Go. Yung kasamahan ko pong si Police Captain Perote ay dinukot po sa labi ng isang hotel sa Bacolod ng 5 armadong kalalakihan na nakasuot ng bonnet at bulletproof vest. Meron din po silang mga lookout sa labas. Hindi na po makita hanggang ngayon si Perote. At malamang patay na si Perote. Matagal na po akong natatakot para sa aking buhay dahil ako ay pinapapatay ni Duterte. Sila po ay ma-influensya hanggang ngayon. Pero this has got to stop. Tapos na ang maniligayang araw ni Duterte, Bongo at Bato de la Rosa. Panahon na po siguro ngayon na magtiwala sa ating pamahalaan. Nakita ko po na sa panahon ni Pangulong Marcos nagkaroon ng hustisya sa kaso ni Senator Laila de Lima. Nanalangin po ako na sana din magkaroon ng hustisya ang ating kaso at magkaroon ng accountability sa mga kasalanan ni Duterte, Bongo at Bato de la Rosa. Isama na rin natin si Aaron Aquino, si Oscar Albayalde at Wilkins Villanueva. Dapat na silang usigin ng batas. Dapat malaman ng tao ang kanilang kasamaan. Panahon na ng paniningil. Gusto ko pong ilinaw ang aking mga nalaman sa atraso sa bayan nila Duterte, Bongo at Bato de la Rosa. Gusto ko din pong bigyan linaw ang mga akusasyon na ibinabato nila sa akin ni Duterte at mga kampo nito. At upang ipaliwanag sa mga kapwa ko Pilipino kung gaano tayo niloko sa mga kasinungalingan ng gobyernong Duterte. Una sa lahat, huwag sana kayong maniniwala sa mga ignupukol sa akin ng mga kasinungalingan. Hindi po ako protektor ng sindikato ng droga. Hindi ako kidnapper. Wala akong ginukot o pinaransom ng mga drug personalities. Lalo na ang mga Chinese. Hindi ako involved sa pagdukot at pagpatay sa Koreanong si Jing Ik-yuk. Hindi ako nag-smuggle ng AK-47 at lalo hindi ako nagbigay ng baril sa NPA. Hindi ko inagaw ang search warrant operation sa loob ng laboratory. Mamaya bibigyan linaw ko ang mga intelligence report ko. Ang dahilan kung bakit ako ginigipit ni Duterte. At bibigyan linaw ko din yung direct namin sa Davao noong gabi ng December 31, 2004. Hindi ko alam noon, papala tayong pinagloloko ni Duterte. Ang utos pa nga ni Duterte ay sunugin ang Shabu Laboratory, pero hindi ako pumayag. Sinabi ko na ito dati. Ako ay nalulungkot kasi umabot ng ilang taon bago ko maihalat ang ating panig. Noong 2017, lumapit ako sa Senado kay Senator Gordon noon upang ilantad ang aking intelligence report. Pero imbis na ako ang pakinggan, itinago lang ang aking report at hindi isinapubliko. At ako pa ang pinalabas sa protektor ng droga sa report ng Senate Blue Ribbon. Hindi siya nakinig sa akin. Kung naman ang dahilan niya dahil sa pagsipsip Yes, noon kay Duterte. Si Duterte ang pinanigan niya dahil sa kanyang railroaded Senate investigation laban sa akin. Ako ay wrongly nadiin at ako ay kinasuhan. Ginawa akong drug lord kahit ako ay nagtatrabaho lamang. Sa totoo lang, kung hindi tinago ang intelligence report ko kay Michael Yang at Alan Lim, baka hindi nangyari ang korupsyon ng Parmalic. Walang nanakaw na pera ng bayan. Hindi nalagay sa panganib ang buhay ng mga healthcare workers dahil sa delayed, substandard o expired na face mask at face shield. Baka hindi sana maraming namatay na Pilipino. Napakaswerte nila Michael Yang at Alan Lim. Hindi nila kailangang idepensa ang sarili nila. Kasi si Atty. Duterte, mga alipores niya, ang abogado at tagapagtanggol nila. Wala po akong plano magtago o tumakas o hindi panindigan ang aking intelligence report. Tatlong beses po akong maten sa Senate Blue Ribbon hearing. Nung una, may catheter pa ako noon. Yung pangalawa, sa pisina ni Senator Gordon sa Blue Ribbon. Ibinigay ko kay Senator Gordon ang report tungkol kay Michael Yang at Alan Lim. Yung mga stenographer doon at napakaraming abogado at staff ni Senator Gordon. So may hearing na nangyari doon. At nag-oath ako doon. May minutes pa nga yun, hearing na yun. Yung pangatlo, nung scheduled Blue Ribbon hearing na last kong natinan, na may media, subalit hindi ako tinanong ni Senator Gordon sa hearing na yon tungkol sa aking intelligence report. Sa mga sumunod na hearing, hindi na po ako naka-attend dahil pinapapatay na ako at takot po ako para sa aking buhay. Tao lang po ako. Siguro naman po ngayon, nakikita nyo na nagsasabi ako ng katotohanan at lumalabas na ang katotohanan at ang kawalang hiyaan ni Duterte. Sana ma-dismiss na po yung kaso na ipinail laban sa akin. Hindi po ako drug lord. Sina Michael Yang at Alan Lim at yung mga protektor nito na sila Albayalde, Aaron Aquino, Wilkins Villanueva, Bato de la Rosa, Bongo at Presidente Duterte. Tuloy po ang paghahanap sa akin para patayin upang itago ang katotohanan. Maaaring mapatay nila ako, pero ang katotohanan ay hindi mapapatay o maitatago. Nakikiusap po ako sa taong bayan. Mag-isip at magulat na po tayo sa mga kasinungalingan at korupsyon ng gobyerno. Kapag nambulat ka na sa katotohanan, kasalanan na ang kumikit. At sana panagutin na po natin si Duterte, si Bongo, si Bato de la Rosa, si Aaron Aquino, Wilkins Villanueva, at Oscar Albayalde sa kanilang mga kasalanan sa bayan. Handa po akong tumulong para sila ay mapanagot. Umasa po ako na sa administrasyon ni Pangulong Marcos ay magiging accountable na ang mga tunay na nagkasala sa bayan. Si Duterte, Bongo at Bato de la Rosa. Ibinenta tayo ni Duterte sa China. Siya ay taksil sa Pilipino. Si Duterte, Bongo at Bato de la Rosa ay taksil sa taong bayan. Bago po ako magpatuloy, gusto ko lang puting ilahad sa inyo na yung mga kasama ko sa trabaho na humarap sa Senate Blue Ribbon hearing si Captain Perote, si Master Sergeant Jerry Yuwanan, kasama na din si Director Fajardo, lahat ay patay na. Silang lahat ay pawang mga inosente at walang kasalanan. Matitino po silang mga pulis. At tapat sa kanilang tungkulin. Si Master Sergeant Jerry Yuwanan ipinagbabaril at napatay sa Bulacan. Si Director Fajardo namatay na mag-isa sa ibang bansa. Si Captain Perote hanggang ngayon nawawala at patay na. Humihingi ako ng pasensya sa mga pamilya, sa pamilya nila dahil namatay at nagkamay sila sa akin. Uulitin ko, sila ay inosente at matitinong pulis. Ako din po ay inosente. Ginawang punching bag at kulgay ni Duterte, Bongo, Bato de la Rosa. Dahil sa bata nila si Michael Yang. Humihingi din ako ng pasensya sa aking mga kakuhan na naipit din sa pangyayari ito. Sorry, ang naipit kayo sa serbisyo ninyo. Meron po akong time natin para i-present mamaya. At ako din po ay handang sumagot sa inyong mga katanungan. Pwede ko na pong i-present yung aking timeline.
O sige, medyo mahaba yung inyong opening remarks, Colonel. But alam niyo po, napakaseryoso nung mga aligasyon na binitawan niyo. Kami ho dito sa committee ay gusto lamang namin malaman yung katotohanan dito sa iniimbestigahan nating Shabu, na kung saan maaring merong link yung a certain Mr. Michael Yang. At hopefully, yung inyong mga sinabi kanina, meron ho kayong mga ebidensya na maaring ma-share sa committee ito para mapatunayan po natin na ang inyong binitawan mga seryosong mga aligasyon ay kaya pong panindigan. So we will now give you time to make your presentation, and pagkatapos po niyan, kami po ay magtatanong sa inyo. Yes, you may proceed.
Opo, handa po. Magandang umaga po ulit. Ito po yung aking timeline. Sisimulan ko po ito dun sa December 31, 2004 kung saan ni-raid namin yung Shabu Laboratory sa Davao, sa Domoy. Noong panahon na yon, ang identified lang namin ay si Alan C. Kasi siya yung lagi nagpupunta sa laboratory. Si Johnson Chua, na identified na owner at financier, ay hindi namin nakikita na pumapasok sa laboratory. Pero yung bahay niya, alam namin kung saan, sa Davao City. Pero during that time, hindi namin siya kilala. Si Michael Yang naman ay hindi namin nakita during the surveillance sa Davao noong December 24. Nagsimula po kami mag-surveillance sa Domoy is ng late October. At nag-full-time kami ng full-time surveillance ng November hanggang December, hanggang sa dismantle namin siya. Si Michael Yang, talagang hindi siya nakita ron. Hindi namin siya nakita. Kasi ang participation ni Michael Yang during that time is siya ang sumalubong ng 2 container ng mga equipment at chemicals na galing ng Pulyok Port sa Cotabato City. Siyang tumanggap, siya nag-ayos, at siya nag-attempt sa iba-ibang lugar hinatid niya sa Cagayan de Oro at doon sa Domoy. Yan ang participation ni Michael Yang sa Davao Laboratory noong 2004. Noong April 2016, una kong narinig o unang nireport sa akin ng aking asset, si Michael Yang. Ipinakita sa akin ng aking asset yung picture ni Michael Yang, ni Duterte at ni Bongo sa loob ng eroplano. Yung pong nakikita nyo, yan po yung picture na pinakita niya sa akin. Ang sabi niya sa akin dito is si Michael Yang is laging kasama si then presidential candidate Duterte at si Bongo. Nung tinanong ko kung sino si Michael Yang, ang sabi niya, si Michael Yang ay kasama sa Davao Laboratory. Nung makuha ko yan, April 2016, hindi ko masyadong inintindi kasi eleksyon. Pinabayaan ko lang yung information na yun. Pero, at kasama doon sa informasyon na binigay niya, is si Michael Yang ay kasama niya si Alan Lim lagi, o alias Ayong. Silang dalawa ang nagtatrabaho, patuloy na nagtatrabaho sa illegal na droga. At sinabi rin niya na si Alan Lim o si Lee Wen-tiong o Wen Li Chen ay involved sa na-dismantle na Shabu Laboratory sa Cavite noong 2003. So ang ginawa ko is kumuha ko ng ebidensya. Ang ebidensya, ang nakuha ko noong noong November 2016, merong alam na ni Chief De La Rosa during that time na si Michael Yang at Alan Lim ay may involvement sa droga. At ang sabi niya noon is imbestigahan mabuti, kumuha ng ebidensya. So, nagatap na kami ng ebidensya, nakuha namin ang court record ni Alan Lim o Wen Li Chen sa Cavite RTC. Ito yung desisyon ng kanyang kaso sa Cavite RTC. Na-dismiss ang kaso niya dahil or by failure to observe Section 21 ng mga police. At ang presiding judge during that time ay yung NBI director ngayon na si Judge Jaime Santiago. At during sa validation na ginawa ko, inutusan ko si Captain Perote na maghanap ng tao na pwede pang mag-validate doon sa impormasyon na binigay sa amin ng asset. So noong August 10 to 12, bumiyahe kami ni Captain Lito Perote sa Davao City at kinausap namin nung isang informante para matanong kung anong involvement ni Michael Yang sa Davao ring. Nakausap namin siya, pinakitaan namin siya ng mga pictures ng iba-ibang litrato ng Chinese at during nung nire-review niya yung mga pictures, itinuro niya, isa sa mga itinuro niya ay si Michael Yang. Pero ang sabi niya, Sir Yang, si Dragon. Sabi ko, bakit Dragon ang tawag mo? Sir, may tattoo yan sa likod ng Dragon. Tapos, tinanong ko kung anong participation niya. Sabi niya, Sir, yan ang kumuha ng tumangkap ng 2 container galing Pulyok na mga equipment at chemicals para doon sa Domoy at yung iba dinala sa Cagayan de Oro. Sa huli, sinabihan namin yung informant na yon na patuloy na maghanap pang impormasyon tungkol kay Michael Yang. So, bumalik kami ng Maynila. Pagbalik namin sa Maynila, by September tumawag yung asset sa amin. O tinawagan ni dito yung asset namin para tanungin kung ano yung na-discover niya. Ang sabi niya, Sir, si Michael Yang pala ay malapit kay Presidente Duterte Bongo. Nakakatakot naman yata itong pinagagawa ninyo. Sabi ko, huwag matakot, hindi makita susunugin. So talagang na-confirm na si Michael Yang ay talagang malapit kay Presidente at kay Bongo. So gumawa na ako ng report. Ibinigay ko ang report ko noong September 2017 sa Director ng Drug Enforcement Group para ibigay kay Chief PNP de la Rosa. Pero ito yung panahon ng Marawi siege. Hindi niya na ibigay at siya ay na-relieve at ginawa siya ng Regional Director ng ARM, ng BARD. So, ibinalik sa akin yung report. Hinawakan ko lang. Then, noong December 2017, nalaman ko na si Alan Lim ay iniimbestigahan din ng anti-kidnapping group dahil sa involvement sa kidnap o ransom ng mga Chinese sa mga pogo. Ang report noon kay Alan Lim is alias Ayong, kasi itong si Alan Lim ang dami ng pangalan. Si alias Ayong ay siya ang nagpapasilitate ng official na ginawa